For 2 years. I had been William Carter's secret lover. Yet I had loved him for 10. That night in the restaurant restroom. We kissed like the world was ending. I was thrilled because he had promised to take me to meet his parents. But as our emotions soared, a voice from outside the door shattered the intimate moment.
William, are you almost done? Your parents are waiting.
My body froze instantly. Stunned. I asked him, "Who is she?" His warm breath brushed against my neck as he whispered to me,
"My fiancée."
I just stood there, frozen. William laughed softly. He replied to her,
"Just give me a minute. Go keep them company."
As the click of her heels faded into the distance, I grabbed William by the tie, my nerves on edge. I demanded again, "Seriously, William, who is that woman outside?" Just a few hours ago, he'd asked me to bring some documents to the restaurant. When I saw the address, my heart skipped a beat. He'd said he'd take me to meet his parents. And I'd been waiting for that day, playing the role of his secret lover all the time. I'd spent ages getting ready. And the moment I walked into the restaurant, William pulled me straight into the men's room for a quick makeout session. We were classmates all the way back in high school. He was always at the top of the class. And I was always coming in second right behind him. He was the son everyone admired. And I spent 10 years just trying to catch up to his light. 3 years ago, I finally landed a job at his company. And started carefully planning those accidental encounters, making sure he'd see me around. One thing led to another. And we started catching feelings for each other. It was only a matter of time before we ended up together. Just moments ago, I was still lost in my own fantasy, imagining how wonderful it would be to finally meet his parents with him. But reality hit me like a ton of bricks, smashing my dreams to pieces. He caught me standing there, totally stunned, with a mischievous glint in his eyes. His hand kept roaming over my thigh.
"What's wrong? Disappointed? You look so gorgeous today. Did you actually think I had you bring the files over just so I could take you to meet my parents? Oh, Emily, you're still so naive."
His fingers kept toying with my ear, sending shivers down my spine.
"You're beautiful, talented, and have an amazing body. But my mom would never approve of a girl like you. Don't you love the thrill of it?"
I bit my lip so hard that I nearly drew blood, fighting back the tears. But William just flashed a wicked grin, his lips almost brushing my ear as he went on in a playful voice.
"Your answer's written all over your face."
I pushed him away, fighting back tears as I fixed my clothes. I grabbed the documents from the floor and threw them at him. "Here are your files. I'm out of here." We walked out of the restroom one after another. And right as I turned the corner, I bumped straight into the woman from before. She was ready to lose it. But William swooped in, wrapped his arm around her, and playfully brushed her nose.
"What took you so many years to come back? Were you getting impatient waiting for me out there?"
William teased, his voice full of affection. She gave him a playful shove.
I wasn't. By the way, who's she?
She asked, shooting me a curious look. William rubbed his shoulder in mock pain, acting all casual as he said,
"Oh, she's just here to drop off some files."
She glanced at the files in William's hand and said nothing more. Then, she looped her arm through mine, flashing a bright smile as she insisted I join them for dinner. Maybe it was an accident, but her nails scratched my skin, making me flinch. Meanwhile, I caught sight of a nasty scar hiding beneath her left forearm sleeve. At the dining table, William and his father were off to the side, discussing the documents. Meanwhile, Claire, William's mother, kept sizing me up, asking about my background and personal details. When she found out my parents were just regular teachers, she couldn't hide the disdain in her eyes. After a few more questions, Claire turned and took out a high-end bracelet.
Rebecca, as soon as William heard you were back from abroad, he had this custom made just for you. You haven't seen each other in ages, and he felt a bit awkward giving it to you himself. So he asked me to.
The name Rebecca caught my attention. I finally realized the young woman was Rebecca Smith, whom William had always called his childhood friend. Whenever he brought up her name, William would get a smile on his face and start sharing all sorts of funny stories about their childhood together. My eyes locked onto that bracelet, and for a moment, my mind just went blank. Just a few days ago, William had slipped the exact same bracelet onto my wrist himself. Right there in bed, when things were getting heated between us. I had wondered what the R inside the bracelet stood for. Now it all clicked. He probably ordered two but forgot to tell the shop to make the inside different.
It's good to have some backbone. Some women are different. Always bragging about being independent and not needing a man. But who knows what they're really doing when no one's watching. I've seen all sorts of games before. There's always some woman plotting to gold dig her way into a penthouse. Guess playing the long game to hook a rich guy isn't exactly breaking news. Am I right? Miss Lane.
Claire's smile stayed bright, but her gaze lingered on my wrist. My nails were biting into my palm as I tried to hold myself together. I shot a look at William. He was half listening to his father while carefully cutting Rebecca's steak. Meanwhile, under the table, his foot kept teasing my leg, brushing against my dress again and again. Claire was absolutely beaming as she watched everything play out.
William's still so thoughtful. He knows exactly how Rebecca likes her steak and even cuts it just the way she likes.
Then she turned to Rebecca.
I've watched you two grow up side by side. Just the other day, your dad was reminding us about your childhood engagement. He's already itching to be a grandpa.
Claire, please stop.
Rebecca pouted playfully, her face flushing with embarrassment.
Oh, you're shy. Huh. Miss Lane. William's going to be busy taking Rebecca out and about these days. So I'll need you to handle things at the office. Don't worry. I'll make sure your overtime pay comes through on time. It's not that it's a lot anyway.
I took a deep breath, pulling myself together as I got to my feet. Sorry, but I need to use the restroom. I washed my hands and took a moment to calm down. Then I stared at my reflection in the mirror. But the more I looked, the more I felt like a stranger to myself. My makeup was flawless, and my hair perfectly styled. Everything about me was just the way William wanted, but I couldn't stand the sight of myself.
You're upset.
Rebecca suddenly said behind me. I spun around at the sound of the voice. Rebecca walked over, her face calmed, and lifted her arm to show me. She told me,
See this scar? 5 years ago, I took a knife for William. It went all the way to the bone. I'd die for him without a second thought. Would you?
Staring at that scar, a few inches long and crawling across her arm like a centipede, I was left speechless. A smile crept onto her calm face, and she just kept talking, almost as if she was talking to herself.
We grew up together. When we were little, he'd drag me out to the garden and pretend we were getting married, saying he'd make me his wife someday. Whenever I was down, he'd pull silly faces to make me laugh. If anyone messed with me, he'd always have my back. When I got sick at 13, everyone else was too scared to come near me, but he stayed up all night taking care of me, helping me clean up, and changing my clothes.
She seemed totally lost in her memories, getting happier as she spoke, but her eyes stayed locked on me the whole time. Wow, I didn't realize you and Mr. Carter had so many sweet memories together. Sounds like something anyone would envy. Too bad. She frowned. Too bad all your stories are from when you were kids. What about after you grew up? Did you two just stop being close or what? Her smile finally faltered for a split second, but she quickly pulled it back together.
William always wanted to be a translator, but when it came time to pick his major for college, he chose law instead. Do you know why?
The tables had turned. Her words hit me, and I was the one left frowning. In my first year of high school, for the first time ever, I wasn't number one but came in second. I couldn't accept it, so I just had to see who beat me. Once I found out William's name, I started watching him, almost without realizing it. Whatever study guide he used, I got the same one. Whatever book he was reading, I'd read it, too. Little by little, he ended up filling my life, and before I knew it, he was all I could think about. A few months before the SAT, I overheard him telling someone he was planning to apply to Evergreen University for grammarian. I kept it to myself, and when it was time to fill out my own application, I picked the exact same major. But when I finally got to Evergreen University, buzzing with excitement, I realized his name was nowhere to be found on the grammarian list. Later, at the opening ceremony, I saw him up on stage, speaking as the law school student representative. Why did he end up in law school? That question kept echoing in my mind. Even after I changed my major to law for him, and even when I ended up working at his company, he never told me why. Rebecca caught my blank stare. A flicker of triumph crossed her face, and she kindly decided to clear things up for me.
He did it for me. I told him I liked the male lead in a TV show. Just because he was a lawyer.
I gave a wry smile. Not sure whether to laugh or cry. I had never expected the reason to be like that. I tried to calm myself down, but Rebecca wasn't finished yet.
Go home and hand in your resignation today. Don't show your face around him anymore.
Her words made me want to unleash a whole string of curses in my head. I didn't know why she and Claire thought they got to decide my fate. A single careless sentence, one fleeting whim, and the years I'd poured in were suddenly worthless? That wouldn't happen. I forced down my resentment, met her gaze, and gave her a faint, almost mocking smile. What? You're not confident in your romance after all? Her face darkened, and she gritted her teeth.
Take the offer or face the fallout.
With that, she raised her hand and slapped me hard across the face. My cheek was on fire, and all the frustration I'd bottled up over the past few days finally boiled over. I slapped back, and Rebecca's head whipped to the side, but her eyes gleamed with satisfaction, like she'd gotten exactly what she wanted. Claire stared at us in shock, her hand covering her mouth. Then, without warning, she marched over and slapped me so hard that my cheek burned.
Emily, how dare you? You're nothing but a dog our family keeps on a leash. And you actually hit Rebecca? I'm calling the police. You're out of the company, and I'll make sure you have nowhere left to go around here.
I stood there, stunned. When Claire raised her hand again, I shut my eyes tight, bracing for another slap, but it never landed. When I opened my eyes, I saw William standing in front of me, his neck flushed red.
Mom, let's take Rebecca to the hospital first. Okay?
I pressed my lips together, fighting back tears as I looked at William. Claire held Rebecca tightly, her voice sharp with anger as she ordered.
William, hurry up and take Rebecca to the hospital.
William stepped forward, gently picked Rebecca up, and walked past me without saying a word. An hour later, we were all gathered around Rebecca's hospital bed. Claire looked both devastated and furious as she said,
William, you saw what happened, didn't you? Your assistant is downright malicious. She's after you. And she's so jealous of Rebecca that she went this far. Don't let her trick you again. I've lived a lot longer than you. Trust me, I'd never steer you wrong.